Street Fighters, it's Sunday night, and we're here to take your calls. Please, let us know what's going on in your world. The number to dial is 614-655-3887. We're here until midnight. We want to know what's going on in your neck of the woods, or how you're spreading this mess across the U.S. Whatever you got to say, we're here for you. We are the number one anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. It's been that way for 10 years. You can find us on the wonderful WCRS locally here in Columbus, Ohio. But most people get us as a podcast. And most people that listen as a podcast decide they want to step up and support the cause and get more shows by heading over to patreon.com/streetfightradio. We just did the Heat O'Brien episode with Tanya from the Trillbillies. It was so incredibly good, and I was absolutely vindicated by Tanya's incredulous response to what went on during that recording. So please, you don't want to miss the new Heat O'Brien. It's available at patreon.com/streetfightradio at that $5 level. And this week, this Sunday, right now, we're taking calls. But this Wednesday, it'll just be me and Brian doing the regular show. And we're moving out of the basement. We're now into an office space. So we're stepping up in the world, and Street Fight headquarters is coming soon with bigger and better things on the horizon.
I call it an orifice space.
And I call it a flat horizon. Yeah.
We're right across. We got a good fucking spot because we're right across from the bathroom at the office, which will keep us out of sight of any of the other people that work in the office because we could just skitter across the hallway, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we do have an office. I'm pretty excited to be moving into I haven't been to work in a long time. Now it's like it's time to go to work, and then you go to a place where work happens.
Yeah.
Still doesn't. This isn't gonna feel like work,
but it does look like it.
It will look like it.
The industrial carpet and the color of the walls and the lighting, it feels like work.
God, I want to fucking. We did opt against a room with windows, which that was my choice. I said no windows for some reason. At the time, it sounded like it made sense.
I've always felt like one of the pillars of your beliefs is never look at me.
No, I'd love to be able to look out the window while I'm doing a podcast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But, you know what, though? It's fine. I don't have to look out the window. We'll put some lights in there. I can be outside all day. I don't care about that.
Yeah, you can hook up a projector for the wall, like an HD projector, and it'll look like there's like paradise on the outside. It's a good way to trick your brain.
That sounds like something I'd like to try. Yeah, man, I spend all day outside anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I have to go inside for 3 hours one night and 2 hours another night.
Right.
2 or 3. You know, sometimes that Wednesday record can be 3 to 4 hours. So let's just say I work 8 hours a week. Okay.
Pretty impressive.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. You got me. I worked a lot of hours when I was coming up in the world. And now I'm retired.
Yeah. We worked mostly for free, and now we're making up for it.
Exactly. So what's going on with you, man? You having a good weekend?
Yeah, I had a great weekend.
Look at you with the weekends.
Yeah, well, I got a night off. I've had Charlotte so me and Erica do 1 week on off with each other, and because I did the TV show, it was like a 3-week thing. So now I'm taking Charlotte for an extended period. Erica was taking her to a funeral, and then I knew this was going to happen, and I should have cleared it up. Like, late in the day, she was like, can I just keep her for the night? And I was like, fuck, I could have done something. En Vogue was playing with the Columbus Symphony Orchestra. I could have planned ahead, you know? Mm-hmm. But what happened is a guy we know, Bob, that owns a brewery, he also owns skateboard ramps. And somebody that was throwing a concert was like, hey, we want to have a skate competition at our show. Can we use your ramps? So he was at a show, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go." At first I hemmed and hawed, and then I made myself do it. I got there for like the last hour, and it was awesome. I had so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. Skateboarding competition / rap show sounds fun.
It was next level, and it was super young people, and I was there, like I said, because I just knew people that were like beer distributors.
You knew the 40-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, I felt comfortable. We stood on the outside. It was me and 3 other guys with a beard, 3 other white guys with a beard drinking IPAs. I mean, I was with my people, but there was young folks like having frivolity and, you know, fun and dancing and doing their thing. It felt nice to be out.
That's great.
Great. Yeah, it was wild. And it was, the world is opening back up. It feels awesome.
Yeah, I haven't I didn't do shit this weekend.
Should have done shit.
Well, I'll do stuff.
No.
It'll move down the road.
Should have done shit. That's
didn't.
the thing. You should have done it.
We didn't think about doing anything. We Friday night, it was like, well, we're all 3 home. Let's watch Black Widow. So we watched Black Widow together. Roundly, all 3 of us thought it stunk. So that was something.
That's great.
This is like where a family can sit and agree with each other. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, I guess I miss out on that. I can only go to rap shows.
So, yeah, we all sat and watched this thing, and then we agreed, like, hey, guys, you know, yeah, that stunk. That looked like shit, and the CGI looked like shit. I mean, the CGI really looked like shit. And nothing happened.
Yeah.
So, not a good movie. But then last night we watched a good movie. It's a werewolf movie.
Okay.
I'll search it up. It was really good. It was about this werewolves within.
Oh.
About this town where people get killed by werewolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name's a little obvious, I guess. I mean, I've never seen one come from outside.
Well, it does have twists and turns.
Right.
The werewolf movie has twists but it's a comedy mostly. It's a comedy horror, which is a much loved genre of movies in my house.
Of course.
We really wish they'd make more comedy horror, because comedy horror fucking rocks, because it's got jokes which kick ass, but it also has people getting killed, which is also kicks ass.
Yeah.
And we kind of like both of those situations.
Yeah.
You know, my wife won't watch a horror. She's not going to watch Midsummer.
A double horror.
Yeah. No Midsummer. Nothing like that. But neither will I, to tell you the truth. I'm blaming my wife. Like, she won't watch Midsummer. It's like, motherfucker, I could have watched it. You know,
right? You
I
have the
could have
time.
watched Midsummer over the years it's been out.
Anytime from midnight to 5 a.m. when you were up, you had it.
I could have watched it, and I just didn't do it. I watched other stuff instead. So it was like kind of a low key, like, movie weekend. My wife is still, her ankle's fucked up.
Oh yeah.
So we can't like go and do the kinds of things that we'll usually go walk around downtown and shit at night, but we can't do that. So
I was actually going to text Katie and say, hey, do you want to go out to the bar tonight? Like, I was going to see if you two would go out, because I was just like ready to do something, and I felt so fucking free. Yeah. And also my life is now like my home is established. Like, I have sturdy furniture that's going to be there for a while, so I'm no longer scrambling to just have like a regular life. I've kind of settled in at this point where I have a home base that isn't in like shambles.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, you know, I didn't do shit, man. I really have been, I'm still not used to being able to do stuff, if that makes sense. Like, I'm still not used to like, hey, we should go out and do something, because it's been so long since that's been a possibility, that when the time comes where in 2019 I would have been going out and doing shit, the first fucking thought is like, well, let's watch a movie or let's go sit in the backyard.
Yeah,
what pops up.
I'm having an obvious thing. I'm having an opposite reaction, where I'm thinking in 2019, would I spend $15 to go see a Freshie show? A guy that has like almost 1 million Spotify streams? No. But in 2021, I'm feeling that all the way. Like, I'm doing things whenever I can now.
Yeah.
But you have to do them now because they're not promised. Tomorrow is not promised.
I think when the when the first show comes through town that I want to see, and when the first show comes through town that I want to see, and when the first our first show happens, that'll probably shake me into being normal again. Like that's what'll shake. Once I've been on stage, things are back to normal. But until then, it just won't occur to me. I'm a dingus, man. I'm a big fucking dingus. So,
I've also the other thing I've been doing, I had my free time, I rollerbladed for 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
2 hours. It was so fucking fun. I got totally exhausted. And then right at the end, I made like a desperate maneuver where High Street, you know how busy High Street is.
I do.
It wasn't my time to go. And High Street had a clearing in it that I thought I could pinch my way into. And I was literally like, the sun is beating down on me. And I was like losing it. And I was just like, go. So I hustled as fast as I fucking could across High Street. And then I could not stop when I got to the other side. And I slid right into the grass and fell straight on my fucking face. Right in front of the Taco Bell out there. So I hope that made it on TikTok somewhere.
I got some fucking shit from a lady because I started to walk across the street before, like, she's an older woman, like older than me, sort of woman, and she was walking out of this church, and
an older than me sort of woman.
And I'm walking across this. I'm about to cross the street with the wrong light, by the way.
Okay.
Like the don't walk sign's still up, but I'm like, it doesn't look like there's much going on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and cross the street. And then I got kind of halfway there, and there was a car coming, so I turned around and ran back. And a woman laughed at me. This woman was like, you didn't make it, did you? And I was like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay, you couldn't have made it either.
That's deserved.
Okay, I could have run. I might have been able to make it. I just chickened out.
It's a part of taking risks. You got to deal with it.
People will make fun of you.
But nobody takes risks. That's what I'm saying. Nobody takes risks. So be the person taking risks.
I am.
Even if the fucking onlookers laugh at you.
I'm going to take more risks in my life and do more fun things, maybe, if I think of something.
Running across busy streets as fast as you can is what we're talking about.
I love running. I mean, I do jaywalk a lot. I'm a big fucking jaywalker, man. I'm like as bad as it comes when it comes to jaywalking.
Yeah, there was a pivotal moment in my teenage years where we were running across the street at like the last minute, and I fucking splattered in the middle of the road, and this car was about to go and almost hit me. And I got up and looked over, and my mom was at the intersection pointing at me, fucking screaming, so mad that I almost just got hit by a car.
Yeah. Parents used to get just mad if you almost got killed. Like, instead of like caring very much, it's just
I think we've always been mad. I would be the most mad. I think all parents would be the most mad if they got hit by a car, because that's like a dog thing to do. That's like a cat thing to do. That's not like a kid thing to do.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think they've ever. I think we've always been strongly against that.
Yeah, I mean,
nowadays you think they don't care, or they would use it for likes.
They would get sad. It would just be like, I would get in trouble. I once had a dog chasing me. A fucking dog. A beast. The dogs are beasts. They're animals. And his dog come running fucking at me while my parents were out putting the Christmas lights up. Right? This dog's fucking just hauling ass. Like, oh, fuck. I jump back. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And you know what they say to me? Oh, you probably say fuck all the time, don't you? And it was just like, dude, the dog was just chasing me. That dog was going to kill me. Yes, I used the fuck word.
Extremely appropriate time to use that word.
I can't think of a better fucking time to use the word fuck.
And yeah, and also I'm using fuck all the time, but I respect you enough not to say it in front of you, except for when my life is threatened.
Yeah. I mean, that really is like if a guy was chasing me with a knife. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
If a guy ran at me with a knife and I jumped out of the way and I said, fuck, and then they would be like, I'll bet you say fuck all the time, don't you? You piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, my parents also cursed more than anybody. Just the cursedest people. If you're going to curse, you have to let your kids curse. Them's the rules. I'm sorry.
No, we changed that up. Because that's been a big change with parenting and everything, is that a lot of people feel bad about it. And it's like, are you kidding me? Listen to yourself talk. You don't censor yourself in front of your kids. Like, we used to get washed. I had soap put in my mouth and all that stuff. And it was totally fucking hypocritical and ridiculous. It's like, you can't. Look at how you fucking talk.
My dad
and we
shit.
should never feel, and we should have never felt bad about this, and we should have never had this be a problem. It's like a Victorian era prudish ass thing to care about language like that. And there was actually, I remember there was a Charlotte when she was probably 2 years old. She ate something really good. She ate some good food, and she went, "Oh, fuck," because that's what I do. Like, if I take a bite of something and it's immediately good, I'm like, "Oh, fuck." And so she copied that. It doesn't bother me. Like, I expected that. But yeah, I mean, grandmas in school, basically school is the only place you can't say it. Jesus Christ, everything is so in your face. I saw a car today that says, like, this vehicle runs on bad bitch juice, you know, on the side of it. Yeah. So, I mean, things are vulgar. And it should go that way. The faster we can get rid of thinking of cuss words, the better.
That's how I feel too, dude. That is it. When she was real little, she used to fucking sleep in my bedroom. Most people have this trouble where their kid won't leave their bed, right?
Yeah.
For me, I said, you can sleep in my room, but you cannot sleep in my bed. Yeah. So if you're gonna sleep in here, the idea being, if you have to sleep on the floor, you ain't gonna want to fucking sleep in.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So we're now 3-4 years into that process at this time, and I walk in my room one day, I remember bitching to you about this constantly. A full fucking third of my bedroom was like Gwen stuff. Like, there was
her partition.
There was a whole fucking setup. There were a pile of blankets, like, so that basically it made a mattress, which then she could put a blanket on. I walked in one day and she had a fucking stool in there with a lamp on the stool so she could have a lamp down there on the floor to hit the thing. And she had like 6 books sitting there, which, by the way, I know she wasn't reading those books.
Sure.
Kid doesn't read books, okay? But anyway, so I go like this. Hey, why you got your shit all over the floor? And she just fucking looked at me and she just was like, Dad, my stuff's not shit. And I was like, all right, that's a good point. And then I just, from that day forward, that was the first time I heard her curse. And then it was just like, hey, I don't care if you say these words, but just don't say it at school.
Use them properly, too. You can't overuse them. Not everything is a cuss.
Well, my kid, everything's a cuss, okay?
Great.
Just fucking on the way here, I said something about tickets or something like that, and she was just like, titties? Titties? And it's
that's
like,
not a cuss to me.
Dude. Titties is a cuss.
No.
Breast is the right word. Anything that's not the right word is a cuss. So,
ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's the rules.
No, it's not.
So, dick is a cuss, okay? Penis, not a cuss, because it is called the penis.
I only think of them as like words that are created to be bad.
Nuts and
like
balls,
fuck,
both cusses.
I guess shit's
a cuss.
Of course. But like, I feel like it's foundational.
Poop's a cuss too. the poop and crap. I was always surprised my parents let me say crap growing up, to tell you the truth.
Wow.
Because crap is a cuss word, because that's not the proper word for feces. And, you know, if you want to call in and disagree with me that everything that's not the right word is a cuss, having sex, not a cuss word. Fucking cuss word.
Well, because that's foundational and the best cuss word. What about doing it?
Now you're just he's making fun of
doing
me
it
from
a cuss
the
word?
Heat O'Brien Unleashed
Is it
episode.
a cuss word? Is it a cuss word?
It is.
It with like your eyebrows raised.
He's making fun of me on the Heat O'Brien Unleashed episode. I said sometimes I'll ask my wife if she wants to do it. Ooh, and they acted like that wasn't like a sexy way to try to. Look, okay.
Man, it gets everybody going. It's all about it, really.
It's not the word. It doesn't fucking. It's doing it.
Yeah.
That's okay. Where it's bad.
Now we're talking.
Now we're doing.
It's bad to do it.
It's sex. That doing it is sex.
Is that bad?
No, I'm really good at it.
Okay.
As people who have listened to the Heat O'Brien show would know, I'm a great at it.
Yeah. He does it all through mentalism.
That's true. That is true.
He can just think how it's going to happen, and it does. It's incredible.
I mean, no, that's not what I said. I said if it does, if something I want happens, then it's a jackpot.
Because you were like looking really hard and imagining it.
Well, yep. I mean, it's not that I was imagining it. It's
you just use your mental energy and your force.
I don't think I don't think about what I'm gonna get, you know, before the sex happens. I don't sit and think like, wow, this is gonna involve several acts.
You're not a grocery list guy.
No. I don't plan anything, dude. That's like how when I go on a vacation. Okay, before we go on tour, right? I don't pack until the day we're leaving.
Gotcha.
Okay? Before I go on vacation, I pack the morning we're leaving. Everything's packed. I mean, I might do the laundry the night before.
Right.
But I pack when I'm leaving. And that's why I always forget shit, obviously. But that's just when I do things. That's how I work. I don't plan stuff out. And so when I go into sexual intercourse, I'm not sitting around like...
You're not cussing. You're using the not cuss word.
Yeah. I'm not sitting around being like, oh, man, you know, hopefully a BJ is going to happen or something like that tonight. It's like, that would all be nice. Any of the things that can happen in the course of sex, I'd be fine with any of them or none of them, really. Just the one thing I'd be okay with. Insertion. I'd be fine with just that.
I'm imagining you with like a dandelion, like blowing it and just saying, I wish for a BJ inside your mind.
But I don't wish. I think people don't think about sex the way that I do, okay?
Oh, you're right about that. But a billion%.
But I'm talking about what I feel is the highlight of it. There's like a highlight of it. Like
you got a one-track mind.
Well, I like that part. There is one part of it that I really, really like. And then I like for my wife to also have that part she likes. But the rest of the stuff, I'm not trying to fucking make everybody be dirty and stuff like that, okay? This isn't a kink fest, okay?
Yeah.
And by the way, somebody in the chat said I'd be fine with no sex. I didn't say no sex. I said I'd be fine with just the regular sex. You know what I mean? Just there is the end point to me feels really good.
Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Now we're talking. But you can have quite a journey to lead up to it. With moves and all kinds of other shit.
You can. You absolutely fucking 100% can have like all kinds of different things.
Brian's kink is the regular sex.
No, it's not a kink, and it's
Yeah, it is, because that's what you like the most. That's what you like the most, bro. We all have a kink.
I would do.
Trad is a kink, and heteronormativity is a kink. That's not. What's not. There's no normal anymore.
I personally,
If you like the regular sex, that's your kink.
I would be open to other things.
Ooh. Okay.
But it would be like her. It would be like her things, because I'm not like, oh, I want to dress like a cowboy.
You're a servant to her love.
Well, no, that's not it.
Yes, you are.
It would be, do you like something? Do you like something? I'll do it. I'll fucking dress like a cowboy.
Okay.
I'll do it with socks on. I'm trying to think of all the kinks.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Cover those disgusting toenails. It really gets me going.
I promise that I would be open to literally anything that she was into.
Okay, I love
just
that.
don't. In my mind, I'm just like, God damn, dude, you're having sex. You know, like, I'm just excited. I'll tell you guys a story. I'm going to tell you all a story. This is not a sex story. But I was looking, Brett asked me if he could have my PlayStation 2.
Yep.
I went into my basement to get my PlayStation 2, and I found my box of things that I wrote when I was in high school, right? Love letters, things that I would consider diary entries and shit like that. And I read one of them. I'm not going to read what is in that letter because it is humiliating. Okay. And I'll let you guys have the most humiliating thing I've ever seen written. It was written by me. Okay. And it's humiliated me. It said, you know how people would write I love and then they would put the person that they love? Yeah.
Write a heart or like the LOVE?
It was a heart.
I heart. What do you heart? What did you heart?
Any girl who would take a chance on an ugly guy.
Oh my god. Oh no. My man.
I don't consider myself ugly anymore. I promise. I feel like I look like a normal guy. Yeah. But holy fucking shit.
I gotta say also, when people see the 20-year-old pictures, there's a lot of flirty responses. You are no uggo.
I know, but that's what, like I said, I saw that written and I was like, oh my God, my self-esteem is high as fuck now, like compared to that.
Yeah, it seems so low, but you've come quite far.
On scale of 1 to 10, it's a 3.
That helped me understand how far you've come and made it.
I've made a fuckload of progress since I was like 15. Oh, it was so... When I read those words, when I saw that, it was the absolute most humiliating... I'm going to get some of that stuff out, I think. I think I'm going to get some of that stuff out and look through it. But that one fucking made every bone in my body ache. Yeah. It like hurt. Like tears. I just shoved it back in the fucking box too. I just was like,
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't write that. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't see that. I didn't. Nobody knows. There's nobody knows. Just deny it. That's great.
Yeah. All right, let's take some calls.
All right. First one here is Eric. All right. Thanks for calling Street Fight. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Brett and Brian. This is Eric. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you, Eric?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, good. Yeah, I can hear you guys. Just a little delay. Sorry, I'm just dying over here, hearing a little bit of Heat O'Brien. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
So outrageous.
So what's going on tonight, Eric?
Well, I was calling. I wanted to give you guys a belated congratulations on getting working vehicles. I know it's old news, but the Kia saga was really entertaining, and I know it's full of ups and downs, but I'm just happy you guys got some working vehicles.
Yeah, my CRV is pretty nice. I'm now in the market for a $2,000 car. To tell you the truth, I'm not even
A kid's car?
What?
A kid's car?
Well, okay. Now we live in a new world, Brett. From when you were little,
No. Hang on to the past.
I should, but it is a parent's car.
I would never. I will never.
Yes, we're in the market for about
Just go pick her up in the middle of the road whenever she gets broken down.
$2,000 parents' car. Well, Katie only drives like 2 miles a day. And I don't drive at all except to come here and leave and to come to the office, basically to work. I drive twice a week to work. So we kind of feel like we'll let her basically have the big car when she gets her license, and then me and Katie will drive whatever the shit box piece of. Most of the $2,000 cars I found, Kia Souls, and I'm not buying one of those.
No, stay away.
Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off there, Eric, but I appreciate your well wishes.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's fine. You didn't cut me off. I'd actually reached out to Brett a few months ago after I heard he got the Prius, and I do custom auto paint jobs, and I was offering it to give him a paint job. He's been going through a lot, and I just wanted something to cheer him up and do something for you guys. So we had been talking about that earlier.
Yeah, so Eric is calling tonight because we are going to make my car better. Because, because my fucking catalytic converter got stolen, and because Eric is a really talented artist, and he contacted me and said he said there was a few people that he would paint their car for free, and that I was one of them, and that he would come paint my car for me. And then I was like, well, wait a second, we can do something with this. I don't have the money to pay you, but we can raise some money. And so we're going to be raising money for the next month until August to get Eric out here to paint my car and to raise money for a good cause.
Nice.
Yeah. There's this institute out west, the Hopi Tutsquaw Permaculture Institute, that I really like. They're an indigenous led education center on Hopi land, on the Hopi reservation. And I'd been out there a few years ago to see their operation. They build homes and educate people on farming and arid climates. But I haven't been able to get back out there to volunteer my time. So the best thing to do right now would probably be to raise money for them. So I thought this would be a great idea for that too.
Yeah, so pay attention over the next month or so. We're going to have some special offers, but you'll be able to go to store.streetfightradio.com. We're splitting all the money 50-50 between Eric and the organization. And at the end result of this, my Toyota Prius is going to have a wizard and a panther painted on it. So, and that will cheer me up and it'll probably improve my life, make the show a lot better.
Number one, it's perfect for you as a dude to have like a white trash Prius, but Katie wouldn't let me get.
I did offer it to Brian too.
She wouldn't let me get the typo negative thorns painted on my Honda CRV. And if I had the second car, maybe I would have been able to pull that off. But the thing is, my wife is such a coward because the other idea I had was to get Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope's face paint done on my hood, which would be awesome, but nope. I'm still married, so I'm not allowed do crazy things like that.
Well, and I've been following van groups forever, way before now. And Eric, you do an incredible job with like landscapes, and you're incredibly talented. And I hope we can raise a ton of money doing this, because ultimately it will make my car look better.
Do you paint other people's cars, or is the car thing a new thing?
I've painted other people's cars. I've been a painter for 20 years, but the automotive thing is actually newer. But I have done cars before. The last one I did was a Toyota Chinook, which is like a 1978 camper van. So I've got that posted on my Instagram if anybody's curious.
Yeah, you sent me the message about the painting the car thing, and then I was like, okay, whatever, what is this? Mm-hmm. And then I went to your Instagram and I saw the camper and it was like, oh my, this is everything I'm about. Like, this is all I've ever wanted to have in a vehicle was something with a story on the side of it. So yeah, check out the Instagram, Eric Deal Paintings.
There is the good guys are in town this weekend. I don't know if you guys know what the good guys are. They're a hot rod club. So it's so stupid too. It's a big club that they come to the Ohio State Fairgrounds and they all show their cars off. And it costs $20 to get first of all, that's crazy. It costs $20 to go look at people's cars. Number one. And $10 for a kid. To go look at people's fucking cars?
If they're good cars, man. If it's a real good car.
Okay, so here's the other thing. These cars look fresh. I'm talking.
That's why.
Cars that look like those Rat Fink cars.
Yeah.
With the flames.
Yeah.
And all that. We're talking about the coolest ass looking fucking cars in the world. Seen them driving around all weekend.
I got $20 out ready to go already.
Yeah, I see them driving around all weekend. Now here's the thing though. Nobody that was driving any of those cars was cool. Not a single
Good point.
Cool dude was driving any of those cars. It was fucking... Because I started to notice it after I saw my first 2 or 3 hot rods, and I was like, man, those guys look like dorks. And so I was like, I'm gonna keep a tally here, and every single one of them looked like a dork. Every single fucking, I'm talking, dude, just the coolest fucking rides you could ever.
Yeah.
I mean, you grew up in Reynoldsburg where Mopar was.
Yeah, that Denny's was always hot. And the Hooters. Actually, Hooters always had a day out there where you could go. We would rollerblade up there, too.
But, dude, look at the guys driving those cars.
I know.
It is just, your car's going to be cooler than that.
I know.
Your car's going to be, your car.
That's why we need to change this.
That's the thing. Brett's car, a Prius with a wizard on it, is going to be cooler than a fucking hot rod by the good guys.
Yeah.
Because Brett will be driving the car.
People will actually be jealous because of who's driving it.
Exactly.
Instead of like, you have pity for somebody that has like an old fucking Bonneville these days. You're like, you wasted your life just to get a Bonneville when you're a geriatric.
I know. And it was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I people
well,
get.
Well, just you wait, Brian. The typo negative thorns might just happen. You know, see how this goes with the Prius, but you might get your wish.
People.
Let them do
here's
the thorns.
Here's the thing.
It would be so funny if you defaulted on your fucking payments and had to turn that back in with the thorns on it.
I really want the fucking thorns on my car.
It's a sick. I like the idea. It sounds fucking tight. Gigantic size, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. For a guy that just got into typo negative last March, I am willing to throw my life away for them. Maybe I'll get the thorns tattooed on my leg.
Ooh.
Coming up my leg, that's my tattoo, you know? The thorns.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll confess that I got into typo negative a few months ago because of you guys. So life is killing me. That album has been on repeat.
Yeah, it's a good album. That's a good one. I mean, I'm the hugest October Rust guy. That's why I want the thorns. But yeah, that band, They fucking really rocked. But like, yeah, you're gonna make Brett's car the coolest car in the city, I think. Because again, Prius, it's not cool, but we all know that a Prius isn't cool. Nobody jumps in a fucking Prius and is like, God damn, you know, I look really hip and cool. But a painted up Prius with a cool looking dude in it. And what I was going to say.
Yeah, we're selling clean energy now.
Yeah. And what I was going to say
With
before
sex.
is that everybody gets old. Everybody turns 55, Brett.
Yep.
That's not bullshit. I'm going to be 55 someday.
I'm going to be
You're
that
gonna
wizard someday.
Yeah, you're going to be 55.
Yeah.
I'm 42 now. That most people would say that's old. Okay? But like, you don't have to turn into like the suburban, like
Fuddy-duddy.
my dad. You don't have to like turn into my dad. You don't have to wear Hager slacks and like a fucking what a shirt with buttons on it, right? You don't have to do that.
That's the Stafford is that brand.
Yeah.
Keeps offices
I mean,
going.
if I'm a hot rod guy right now, and I'm 55, here's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Dye my hair black.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I'm slicking it with pomade. Just slicking it.
Brill cream.
Just going nuts on. Or I'm shaving my head. Or I'm buying a wig. I haven't, like an Eric Bischoff wig.
Yeah, I would peel off some of the money from the car to a wig or something.
Thank you. I've been thinking about, like, if you bought a car like that, you could get the hair.
Like real hair
plugs.
instead.
Yeah. And, buddy, I'll tell you, listeners, right now, if we were making Chapo money, I'd have already had the plugs.
You'd have John Cena hair right now.
I would. I'd have wispy John Cena hair. But anyway, that's what... Okay, so then I have my beard, which I do have now. I'm dyeing that black, too. I'm just dyeing it jet-ass black, okay? Leather jacket, white T-shirt,
Yep.
blue jeans.
Wow. Okay, so you're going for a classic.
Yeah,
James Dean
because
shit.
I'm 55, right? I grew
Well, I mean,
up in the Fonzie days.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, everybody is, you just want to be dressed like your teenage self forever. Or like when you were 17, whatever you thought was the best stuff, you're like, that's what I picked it already. I picked at 17, I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, for me, like if I'm
still doing it too.
If I'm 55, I'm fucking, you know, I'm dressed like I'm wearing Jinkos. I'm fucking, you know, I'm doing that look. I'm basically doing that. That is what I live now.
So
I mean, I wear...
You're going to go to Denny's parking lot to see like a new metal revival show wearing Jinkos and a ball chain necklace.
Yes, I would. And
you will.
I would show people like my memorabilia, maybe.
Yeah,
because
that's a good
if
one.
I got rich, like the 55-year-old hot rock guy, I'd probably have like a 7-string guitar.
Yeah.
And like I'd probably have like a bunch of stuff.
You'd be wearing one of Fieldy's jerseys to the show.
Yes, yes, I would have all that. I'd have like one of the ICP hockey jerseys signed by both guys. You know what I mean? Like I would totally, if I was 55. Like,
you're gonna be.
I know, and that's how I'm gonna be.
But they do it better. You're saying they fucked it up though.
What I'm trying to say is, you can be cool, no matter how old you are. You don't have to turn into an accountant, okay? But that's what I saw driving those fucking cars out there.
So they fucked it up, yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing guys in Hager slacks driving a fucking a Dodge Challenger, and I'm like, bro.
I mean, yeah, I think also that's save it for later stuff is where it's like, what do you mean? Why don't you want to have it when you're like, life is fast and young and free? Why are you waiting to be 65 to have a muscle car? What are you fucked it up, man? You're supposed to have that in the most dangerous times of your life.
Also, you fucking, you turn it into a fucking show car too. You get a muscle car, and what you do with it is fucking drive it to a fairground and park it and let people look at it. You're not fucking racing that fucking thing. I mean, what's the point getting a fast, powerful car?
Yeah, throw some
park
bleach
it in
down.
a parking lot. You can buy the same fucking car and put a Geo Metro engine in it for what you're doing. You know, you ain't doing shit.
Yeah, Yeah.
Sorry, Eric. I don't mean to get all on my high horse, but I saw those
very
guys
passionate.
this weekend, and I was hot under the collar about it.
Yeah. No, it's good. I was just wondering what this version of Brian eats, like what his diet's like.
Like, and when I'm 55. Oh,
Yeah,
if I
yeah, with that
my
look, that classic
17-year-old diet was my 18-year-old diet was fast food every single day, but I wouldn't eat 2 hamburgers 2 days in a row. You dig what I'm saying? So it would be like if I had McDonald's on Monday, I wouldn't have Burger King on Tuesday or McDonald's on Tuesday. If I had McDonald's on Monday, I'd have a Taco Bell on Tuesday, a Pizza Hut on Wednesday.
I want to. We know you were a horrible piece of shit earlier. I actually am interested. What about 55? You're in a parking lot. You have a ball chain necklace on. You're fucking it up. What are you doing? You have Metamucil now as part of your regular diet.
Yeah, I'm using it up. Yeah.
You're doing Metamucil. What else are you eating at 55? What do you think the doctor has told you? You have to cool it out. How do you think things have changed? While you are dressed like a 17-year-old version of yourself in a Hooters parking lot.
I assume that by the time I'm 50, they're going to pretty much get me off of beef.
Okay.
And pork.
Okay.
You know, and sugar.
So you're gonna go to Hooters for the chicken wings.
Yeah,
So, hey, my doctor said I can eat them.
And my ass will be at Hooters. I'll be at Hooters eating chicken wings and being like, it's healthy because it's chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
lean.
Like,
It's lean.
It's lean. No, but like, I mean, I'm already turning into the guy that doesn't eat as badly. Like,
I know, that's what I'm saying. This is advanced. 12 years from now, you will advance.
yeah. So it might just be what. I mean,
You'll have like in your cargo like pants. You'll have like granola or some sort of trail
I
mix.
love granola right now. You know what I'm doing now in the mornings, and this could last a while. Acai bowls. I'm making my own acai bowls.
Wow, you're beating the system because they can get $12 out of you for them motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yep. Well, they ain't getting. They got fucking $4 for the acai out of me, and then I am making them on my own, and they have been a shit for the past 2 days that I've been making them. Not good.
I hear those are good, actually. I'm gonna have to try them.
You know, they're hard to. I think once I figure out how to make them, I think they'll be really good. It's just, I'm very weird about like. I keep adding more and more water, and it basically turns it into juice. And then I drink the juice with the protein powder in it, and I move on. I'm trying to figure out how to get it thick enough. But, yeah, I don't think I'll be a vegan by the time I'm 55. But I think I'll be 90% vegetarian by the time I'm 55. There's an answer for you. I'll probably be mostly vegetarian. I don't think I'm ever going to stop eating pepperoni. But and cheeseburgers.
But you're going to have like a Chevy Nova that you didn't fix up, but it runs.
Yes.
And you're going to be wearing kickwear jeans.
Soaps.
And soap shoes. And a Spitfire shirt. And hanging outside of a Hooters to like live the old days.
Moshing.
Yeah, listening.
With other fucking 55-year-old dudes too. But like
everybody's stiff as fuck. Like
yeah, but I've kept in this dream, I've like kept myself kind of in better shape than other 55-year-old guys, and I'm just fucking wrecking them now.
Yeah,
you know, because back when I was young, I weighed 110 pounds, and people would just whip my ass in that mosh pit.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I thought like, well, because I'd been going to these garage rock shows, I was like, well, you know, when I get in a pit now, I'm a formidable foe. I'm a formidable guy. And then we went and saw Korn, and I'm still not formidable.
Yeah.
Like the guys were just crushing me. So maybe when I'm 55, it'll move around the other way.
Yeah.
And I'll be formidable. Finally.
I'll pull up in a
I think if you're
Teal Grand Dam and open up those long ass doors and leave them open so no one can park next to me.
Thank you.
What were you saying?
I think if you're as thoughtful about this at 42, I mean, you're going to be living life beyond your wildest dreams at 55. I think.
Good
So,
point.
I believe
hope
it.
so. I mean, I think that like the way that I've been eating, like just for the first, I don't know. So I know people hate hearing weight talk, but I'm down 22 pounds. I'm since I started like cooling out on the candy.
Sure.
So I do feel a lot of like it's one of those things where like when you do hear a change, when you see some kind of a change, then it does encourage you to keep going further and further. And I did do vegetarian for like 4 months, and I don't know what happened. But I am way down on the amount of meat I eat. And, I'm trying to even, which I don't believe in this, but I'm trying to like responsibly source my meat. But like, I mean, in the end, you're killing something anyway. So it's kind of like responsible sourcing even is like, okay, well, I'm still killing a thing. So, but I have been trying to be better about it. So, yeah, who knows? I might be a fucking fully realized version of myself finally when I'm 55.
Yeah, I hope that.
Me too, brother.
I think
Me
that's
too.
about right.
Yeah. Well, Eric, thanks for calling in.
Absolutely.
It's good to talk to you.
Yeah, you guys have a good night, and look forward to it. And I'll enjoy the show. Love it.
You too.
Yeah, we really talked at him mainly.
Well, Brett, things happen, dude. Sorry, Eric. Hey, I need to send you something here.
But so we worked this out. We're going to raise money for the Hopi Tutsqua permaculture, and also get my car painted. If you head to store.streetfightradio.com, there's a link there. You can donate $5 right now to get donations to the fundraiser. Sorry, Brian's confusing me right now. What is it?
That one right there.
Okay. Go to store.streetfightradio.com. There's a link that says Improve Brett's Car. It's $5. You can buy 10 of those. You can buy 100 of them. Eric also has some original paintings and artwork that he's willing to give up for people that want to donate more. We'll have more information coming for that over the coming months. But Eric is coming in August, and he said whatever happens. So we want to make sure we raise enough money to pay for his costs and to get him here and make sure that my car looks awesome and that we can do it for a good cause.
Right
so
on.
Look forward to more information of that in the coming weeks.
How come somebody in the chat told me to look up maca powder, MACA powder, to put in my acai bowl?
Yeah.
So I did, and the first result was testosterone support, and I was like, whoa, okay, come on. What's that gonna show up for? Is that what maca powder is? Or is my phone just saying like, dude, come on?
Yeah, it might just be your algorithm.
Yeah, I don't search for testosterone support, by the way, okay?
Yeah, I mean, maca powder is the
maca's
best
in there.
solution for someone that, yeah.
Yeah, maca's in there. So, okay.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's another frou-frou, crazy, exotic ingredient that rich people love.
Well, this just has, like, one of the things that you almost died taking.
Magnesium?
Yeah. Brett, I know
Too much
people that have
magnesium.
been longtime listeners to Street Fight will know that Brett almost died taking magnesium.
I almost fainted. That's all it was. Felt like my legs went out from underneath me.
And he typed out 911.
I typed 9-1, yes. I typed on a 9-1. I was hoping that as I hit the ground, as my body like went stiff, that my thumb would like just hit send.
All right, let's take these calls.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Perfectly. What's up, Alexander?
Hey, it's Alexander Edward. I'm talking to you from my podcasting microphone. I was hoping it would work.
What?
Sounds like just like the show.
It sounds great.
I feel like I'm doing the show now.
I know, but he's coming over our phone.
Oh, got it.
So it still sounds like phones. What's up, Alexander? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. We just recorded. I've been imbibing for an hour or two, so I'm feeling pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're okay.
So, imbibing is not a cuss. Is drinking a cuss then?
No,
or getting drunk.
Not a cuss because drinking is an act.
But imbibing is the proper scientific way to say it.
Sure, but so is drinking. Scientists would also say drinking.
No, that sounds like slang. That sounds like a lay term.
It is a lay term, but
Yeah,
lay
imbibing is the Winnie the Pooh wearing a top hat and monocle version of drinking.
Thank you. Lay terms are not cusses.
But everything that isn't the okay.
Yeah. So what's up? Alexander sent me a message this week telling us, because we did ask for something this week on the Basement Show. People's stories from letting customers have it when you snapped on a customer. And Alexander sent me a message, and Alexander works for a company where, I mean, technically they're allowed to snap on customers. So,
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like it's weird. It's like a gray area. I don't know if my experience applies because I work for UPS, so I'm in a union. I'm a Teamster, and the thing is like when you're a Teamster, you technically don't have to ever snap. Like you're afforded a certain level of dignity on the job at all times. So you never really have to reach the point where you actually snap at a customer. So I don't know if this is applicable.
Wait, but I do. Yeah, I mean, I do know that because I've seen it happen more than one time where, like, the UPS person is parked in the middle of the road and someone complains about it, and it's like, how do you think the packages get delivered?
yeah.
It's 38 seconds. You aren't doing anything important.
Those motherfuckers want their packages. That's the other thing that makes you nuts about it, too.
Right.
Is those motherfuckers want their packages, and the reason they're mad is because this package that's blocking the street isn't one of theirs. You know, it's going to somebody else's.
Right.
So, yeah, I always just get the vibe that people who deliver packages, with the exception of Amazon, because they don't have any kind of protections, can kind of get away with telling people to go screw when they act like pricks.
Yeah, I usually either say, "Oh, hey, thanks for your patience," and they know that I'm like fucking with them when I say that,
Right.
or I just say like, "Oh well, you know,
well.
it'll be okay."
Life goes
But
on.
I have had like customers who don't understand that I'm in a union, who think they can get me in trouble, you know? And I figured maybe I'd tell one of those stories.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
let's hear it.
So this was a few years ago. I was delivering in like kind of a desert area of California called Paris, and it's in the Inland Empire. And there's like, it's mostly like dirt streets, at least in the area I was delivering in, you know, dirt streets, like streets without stop signs, streets without street signs, you know, hand-drawn street signs, dogs running loose everywhere, that sort of thing. But there was like a few pretty wealthy homes that were like up in the hills. And there was one house that was like behind a gate, and you had to enter a code into the gate. When you scan their package, like prompts come up, you know, these are called notes, and the notes in the board like give you special directions, like here's a gate code for an apartment, here's a warning about a vicious dog, here's a indication that the customer is going to be slow to answer because they're elderly or infirm or something like that. Well, this customer had like 3 or 4 different notes that were like, and each one of them comes up as a different prompt. So you have to like click through with your scanner to bring up the next note, it can be aggravating, right? And so you go up to the gate, you get the first note, it tells you the gate code. Then there's other notes that are like, leave in the courtyard, leave behind this gate, do this sort of thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm already doing them a favor by driving up through the gate, going in their little roundabout, and leaving the package on the walk path that leads up to their house, where there's a second gate that you have to go in through to like reach the front door.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not doing all that.
No.
How many gates do you need?
Yeah.
Like how many fucking gates?
I could just throw it over the first gate instead.
Yeah, fuck you. You know what?
Yeah.
I think
Wait.
one gate's too much. Nothing makes me more nuts than one of those like gates for access to like a place. Although your apartment complex has one, and it would be nice if for you you may not have had your catalytic converter stolen had they used it. But I do feel like if you live in a private residence on a bunch of fucking land, what do you gotta have two gates for?
Yep.
Yeah, I actually have an annoying ass apartment now because there's 4 of us to a building, and there's like one door with a code that you have to get into to deliver the mail. And it seems frustrating and stupid, and it annoys me. I always end up getting anxiety, so if I get shit delivered, I just wait until they say they're going to be there, and I go and wait outside the main door. Because
when
I don't want to have to check the notes.
Yeah, I fucking hated any place when I was a cable guy because, like, for the same thing you said, them motherfuckers would call me to come and service their shit, and then you would be like, how the fuck do I get to this house? You know, you pull up. There's a fucking gate here. Pastor Rod.
You need a
Parsley,
key fob or something.
Pastor Rod Parsley. I had 2 different times had to go to his house to do service stuff, and like there were 2 gates. I could never get through the second gate, so I never did see his house. But I could never get through the second gate. So yeah, this kind of stuff holds a special angry thing in my heart, Alexander.
Well, imagine having to do that 150 times a day.
Right.
Like that's the low end of stops that I have. You know, 150 is probably about the average. This whole last week's been like 200. It's been like 12, 13-hour days, which is another story. But imagine, 150 stops where it's like somebody's got a weird ass house that you have to figure out how to get to the front door. Or somebody's got lives in an apartment complex and you don't have the code to get in. That sort of thing. If somebody's got the code to get into an apartment complex and there's like a secure mailroom, like boom, that's great. Leave the package in there, no problem. But this person, so not only did you have to you have to drive alongside where the little intercom keypad for the key code is, there's like a tree branch that sticks right in front of there. So you have to swerve over to get the keypad, and then swerve around the tree branch to get through the gate. And then you got to drive up and do like a 3-point turn around their little island roundabout just to point the car back down. And so I'm like, I'm leaving their stuff here. Like I'm already like going above and beyond for this customer, right? Well, I heard from somebody else that this customer was a pain in the butt. And what happened was I talked to, they have like a fucking groundskeeper. They had like, I don't know, a slave ? Like living on their property, or just there all the time, who was like, oh, they like the package to go to the front door. And I'm like, okay, well, it's going here today. And he was like, oh, well, they're not going to be mad. They're going to call about it. And I'm like, yep, people call. It's all right. They can call. And a couple days later, I was in kind of the same neighborhood, and I had backed down into this, like the gate for this ranch property. No key code, just a padlock on the gate. Had dropped the package over the gate, and I was getting ready to leave, and a Lexus SUV pulls up and like blocks me in to this like dirt driveway. And I'm like, I know who this person is at this point. Right? I just sense who this person is. And they don't get out of their car to talk to me. Like I'm in my driver's seat. I got the engine started. They don't get out to talk to me. I have to, as the service worker, I have to get out of my package, turn off the engine, pull the parking brake, all that, get out of my car and walk up to their car to talk to them because they're the property owner. You know, they're the capitalist in the situation. So I have to defer to them. I come up to their passenger side, you know, they've rolled down the window and, you know, I'm a tall guy. So I'm like bent over to talk through their window. And this was a while ago, so I can't remember verbatim, but she's like, oh, you know, do you do this area? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you deliver to this address? And I said, yeah. And she said, okay, well, packages, they go to the front door. They don't go to the sidewalk.
What?
And I said, not sidewalk, but like walkway.
Yeah,
they don't go to the walkway. And I said, okay, well, all that's in my contract, all that's in our, you know, the UPS policy is that it's in a secure location. And that's a secure location. And she says, well, other drivers bring it up to the door and this sort of thing. And I said, okay, well, you know, they were doing you a favor. That's a favor to you.
Yeah.
I'm not a
That was
favor.
And she was
very
like,
nice
you
of
take
them.
that back. You take that back right now. And I was like, take what back? And she was like, you said it's a favor. And I'm like, yeah,
What?
it's a favor. That's like a courtesy they were doing to you, doing for you, basically.
Take that.
And
she
she
wants
was
it
like,
stricken from the
listen,
record.
go ahead. Sorry.
She wanted that stricken from the record, I said.
Take that back is a crazy thing to say as an adult. You can't take it back. I'm sorry.
I said it, ma'am.
It's a favor.
Insane. It's just like, cause it was like a walkway through another like double wrought iron sort of entryway to the front door. And it's just like, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Like, you're already getting such like special white glove treatment by me driving onto your property and leaving it on the walk path to your front door. Like, get your fucking manservant to do that. Don't you own another person? Like, get them to do it for you.
Yeah. You have so much. If you have a place of that size, you only have extra time.
But dude,
Like you have the time to walk to the end of the walkway.
if you have a gate, okay, if you have two gates and the package is dropped off between those two gates, that is all.
Yeah.
That's all I could ever expect in this fucking world is that, like, if I had one of those fucking mile-long driveways where my mailbox is on that mile-long driveway and the UPS person dropped my box off anywhere between my mailbox and my house, I'd be like, well, that's the mail. I got the mail today. And you know, it's safe to... It's safe there too. It's not like he's throwing it in the middle of the fucking street.
Yeah.
But I mean, rich people will say stuff like "take that back." Like they'll just, who even knows what "take that back" meant? But she was probably on the phone with your boss that day saying, "I want you to send this man back out here and have him take it back." You know, we're trying to get this taken back.
Yeah.
No, that was not. It is not a favor. It is where the mail is required to be. It is where my packages are required to be. That is not a favor. I want that written in the contract.
People do, I think, this is the worst problem with customer service is that I think everybody, no matter if you didn't ever do customer service in your life, thinks they know what the job is. Right. And I think that's where the fucking problem comes in. Because, like, I've said this before, but the phrase "that is unacceptable" when something is immovable, when something's impossible to fix.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
The powers.
You're
The
going to have to
powers out.
accept it. Like,
Yeah, somebody bombed the fucking internet company in Tennessee, and someone called. Like, people were called in to say, like, I don't have internet service, and they're like, yes, someone did a bomb, and they're like, that's unacceptable.
That dude, yeah.
Somebody was saying somebody got a $150 Visa gift card when that fucking dude blew up Nashville.
It's just, I mean, I heard that is unacceptable for things that were so beyond anybody. again, a trunk. I said this on the end of the basement show, but a trunk cable got cut. Not one of Insight's cables, not one of the company's cables, one of the fucking cables that brings phone and internet to an entire region of the country, more than one state. And I tell a guy, hey, the internet's down. And he says that's unacceptable. And I'm like,
not really.
You're going to have to accept it because, I mean, there's nothing a person can do.
No other option.
Yeah. This happened so far. Like, like you're trying to explain to a person, this happened so far away from me, my scope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this thing happened in another state.
Right.
I can't fix it. But, people just think that there are, like, with the take it back, what I really think that is people believe, like, okay, so, like, sovereign citizens, right? They believe that there's a combination of words you can say, and then the police aren't allowed to arrest you. Like, that's pretty much what they believe. And I think that there is a belief out there that there's also a combination of words you can say that will get all of your customer service issues solved. But that's just, it's not true. It's impossible for you to get all of your customer service issues solved. There's no way to do it.
Especially if you're talking to somebody in a union. Like, you're in for a world of hurt if you think you can, what do you call it? Like, use keywords and shit with me. It's not a thing. I mean, her saying, take it back. She eventually was like, she was going to drive away several times. And I was like, please, I was waiting for her to just drive away. But she kept like coming back to it. And she was like, I'm gonna call your manager. I'm gonna call your manager unless you take it back. And I was like, wait, take what back? And she was like, you said it was a favor. And I'm like, yeah, that's a favor. That's a favor. The other drivers were doing you a favor. And like, maybe if she had asked me nicely and like developed a rapport with me or something, or like maybe had explained to me why she was incapable of picking up the package at the by her garage instead of by her front door or whatever, I would have considered it, but it was nothing like that. And I was like, why didn't you just talk to me? Why didn't you just talk to me like a human being? And she was like, well, look at you. Look at how you're standing. And I was like, what? The way I'm standing? And she was like, yeah, you have your hands on your hips. And I was like, I'm like bending over to talk to you into your car. And she said, that's right. Stand your millennial ground.
Yeah, you should stand your millennial ground, okay, buddy? But first of all, getting the millennial treatment when you're working in a desert, dropping off packages for people, you're not allowed to give me the motherfucking millennial treat. You can give me and Brett all the millennial treatment you want. It's fine. You can say, hey, quit acting like lazy millennials, and me and Brett will just have to be like, yeah, I mean, that's what we are. But you're not allowed to tell somebody that's doing a job that also involves physical labor, they're not allowed to you're just not allowed to do the lazy millennial thing. Because what job? Let's just think about this for 1 second. What job would Alexander have to not be a millennial to that lady? Like,
fracker town guy.
A fracker or like a Marine.
Yeah.
If he was
crab,
a Marine.
Crab fisherman.
Yeah, crab. Yeah. Well, only one of the ones on the deadliest catch, though. The rest of them are probably millennials.
Honestly, I think what it sounds like to me the most, and this is kind of even related to this whole critical race theory thing, is that these people have a really stupid belief in an objective reality. and that they believe there is like a definitive law on the way that the world runs, and like the customer is always right is one of them, and like everybody knows that, and it's insane that you would say this isn't a favor, this is like what you have to do because I'm the customer and that's what I say. You know, and you can't, it doesn't make any sense when you come up against somebody that's guaranteed to have their job, even if if it's just only required of them to put it inside the first gate or at the end of the walkway.
Exactly.
Or if someone did their job, they can't get in trouble for it. You can't like, the customer doesn't have any control over how you did your job.
Yeah, and they hate that. But
Totally. That's like I think you're onto something, because it is like that individualist right-wing mindset where you're convinced that there is an objective truth, but it's all dependent on your subjective interpretation of every single situation.
Yeah.
So you're like utterly convinced that you're, morally and I don't know, economically right in this situation, but it's all entirely dependent on, your whatever weird, like freakish, cultural indoctrination you have going into the situation. She said at another point, she said, "My husband pays your salary." And I'm not on a salary. I'm hourly, baby. B, no, he doesn't. I laughed at her. She said, "My husband owns a business. He pays your salary." And I was just laughing at her. I was like, "No, he doesn't. Please, stop using UPS. Just stop. Go away."
It really is. It really is. The customer is all like, I've said this, that we should make a fucking button that says this, but the lowest type of person in the world is the customer. And listen, I think customer service, I like good customer service. I think it's great, but I think somebody has to take it to such an extreme to say the absolute worst type of person in this world is the customer, so that maybe we can dial back to
the
halfway
expectations
before the customer is always right. Because I've been there where you're talking about too, and it is the same as the CRT stuff, the critical race theory stuff, because Alexander's absolutely right. Critical race theory is really just people telling their story,
right? Basically,
their version of history.
It isn't a Jeopardy question. It makes history into something that isn't a Jeopardy question.
Yeah.
Or like a list of 5 dates you need to know.
It actually I'll talk about it when we. I did want to bring that up because it is like the history thing. It's like a lot of these fucking dads, these conservative dads, think they're history buffs, and it's like what critical race theory gives you a fuller, clearer picture of what history looks like, and they're like, well, I don't want that.
Not the objective one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that. So, but
history's sad. That's a part of, if you really want to be a history buff, the first thing you got to learn is that history is kind of awful.
Yeah, so much bad shit happened, and it was a bad time for most people. History was a bad time for most people. You know how bad it is now? It was mostly worse for most people back in the day. But man, that is such a great story, Alexander. And from now on,
I'll just finish it off.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So she sped off. She was mad at me because I wouldn't yield my millennial ground to her. She sped off, and then at the end of the day, I went back and dispatch is like management, but again, it's a union shop, so they can only follow the contract. And they were like, "Hey, did you have this customer such and such?" And I was like, "Yep." And they were like, "Okay, well, they actually have the number to the center. Most people don't have a number to get to directly to my center. They have to call 1-800-PIC-UPS if they want to complain," which is always funny. if people want to like complain about me, I'm like, yep, here you go. Here's the number where you can spend 2 hours on hold to complain about me. And this person had the number to the center. So like the center, the dispatch, he was like, hey, can you please just like be nice to her? Cause she has the number and to call me and like, I have to listen to her. And I was just like, nope.
Her husband was paying your
Sorry,
check, man.
but no.
Dude,
she had extra access.
I gave, one of the
obviously a problem customer. If she has that number, she's a problem customer.
Yes. One of the dumbest things I ever did was I was really, and I admire you for doing this, Alexander, because I one time was, I like a lot of times I am very afraid of confrontation, and at the slightest sign of resistance, I'll wilt like a rose in desert rose. Isn't that what it is? I'll just wilt. And I remember this guy was yelling at me, okay, at the cable company. And I said, look, I think I have it fixed. But if I don't have it fixed, here's my cell phone number. Just go ahead. It was a moment of fucking weakness, dude. It was really like, he's not gonna fucking stop yelling at me. I gotta get out of this house. I'll just do this. And I had to change my number. I had to get a new work cell phone number.
Because he was calling you?
All the fucking time, dude. All the time. And expected me to just come right to his house. It didn't matter what time of day it was. He would call me at 9 or 10 o'clock at night and say, it's not working. Can you come out and look at it? And no, I can't. I absolutely cannot do that. Or in the middle of the day, hey, can you come and take a look at this? I have about a half hour. And I was like, I can't just like get there in a half hour. I'm like working on other stuff in another part of town. But it was truly the fucking dumbest mistake ever. So I do understand that dispatcher's place.
Yeah, I don't know. Being in my personal life, I'm much less confrontational. I'm much more just like, oh, let's get out of the situation so I don't have to worry about it anymore. But when I'm in my uniform and when I'm in the truck, I'm just like, I'm very blunt with people. I'll just be like, all right, gotta go, bye, sort of thing, or just like, because it's like you have a route, for the most part, you have a set area that you deliver, and you really do have to establish boundaries. You have to establish expectations with people so that they don't their expectations don't get too high. I mean, I've been driving for 6 years at this point. I've been union for about 17 years. And yeah, you just have to kind of lay down the law with customers at the beginning, so that they don't get any weird ideas about, your relationship or your subservience to them. The last thing I'll say about this story is that, yeah, she was such an asshole to me. The next, I don't know, in like that week, I had another delivery for their house, their address, and it was 6 50-pound packages. And what I did was I opened the gate, I pulled the package car through the first gate so that it wouldn't shut about halfway through. And then I put all 6 50-pound packages right behind the first gate. And then I backed up and left.
Yeah, you can't pull up on somebody like that. You didn't build a relationship there.
That's the alternative. You got to choose. You got to choose whether I put it at the top of your driveway, on the walkway to your front door, or whether I put it right behind the gate, and you made your choice.
Yeah, it's really like, it's like doing pick and pack in a warehouse. When I worked in the warehouse forever, like I just had to get something from here to there, and everyone is relying on you to get things from here to there, and they expect you to do it in a very quick manner. So there is no other extra ass time to be talking to people or to have you like stop me in the middle of doing this, or to expect me to climb up some fucking trellis or something, or and do some sort of secret path to get to your place. Like, it's coming to you. This is how it gets there. Leave me alone. I don't exist.
Yeah, I remember like
I'm gonna give it to you, but it's not gonna have like any special flair on it. You know,
I'm not gonna wrap it with bows and stuff like that. You're just gonna get the goddamn package.
Your little house is just so cute to me. I loved walking up the walkway and seeing all the little extra plants and everything. You're just adorable. That's why I delivered this package to you.
Dude, there's a house on the route I'm doing right now where it's like a dead-end street at the end of another dead-end street. So it's like a side street at the end of so I have to do a 3-point turn and back down this long little cul-de-sac to get to this person's house at the very end of this cul-de-sac. And then and it's like it's Seattle, right? So it's like trees everywhere, growth everywhere. When I get to their front door, there's a cardboard sign that says, "Please deliver all packages to back door." There's treats back there for you.
And
I'm like,
treats?
fuck your treats. I'm not a dog. Like,
there's treats.
You're like, it's so secluded on your front step. Nobody is going to steal your package from your front step that's bordered on 3 sides with trees and shrubbery.
Right. The porch pirates
I'm not
are out.
walking. I'm not like clinging to the side of your house to walk around your like dirt hill or whatever to get to the back of your house. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. It's fine here. All right. Deal with it.
Treats. Did you find out what the treats were?
No, I've never been to their backyard. I've delivered there like a dozen times. I've never been to their backyard.
I know they think they're being cute or whatever and nice. I would be mad if somebody said treats.
No.
I wouldn't be.
No, I have the same exact. I mean, that's why we all get along. My reaction to that is like, "Fuck your treats. I'm fine."
Yeah, I don't need a treat.
I brought my own treats.
Yeah,
I got a lunch pail.
I got cashews in my fucking van.
You went to fucking Costco and got Kirkland's trail mix and put it out there and called it a treat. Fuck you.
It's definitely some Costco shit or some.
It's probably like 2-month-old bottles of water that have been sitting in the sun.
Yeah. Right. Or apples or something. Like, they ain't going to put a candy bar out there or fucking, they ain't going to put a fucking Sour Patch Kids back there. It's not going to be anything that would be great.
Oh, they tell everybody about it, though, how they leave treats for the mail person, and they take pictures on Instagram of the spread and are like, taking care of my delivery, folks.
I'm so mad at the treats.
To be perfectly, you should leave stuff for your delivery driver, like especially in the summer when it's hot. Like that's great at the front door.
Right? No,
we really appreciate it when it's at the front door.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm gonna make a sign that says, "Hey, feel free to take this $5 bill after you've delivered my package to the back of the house. And don't open my gate. I'd like you to jump it." Thank you.
I had an old lady one time leave a dollar bill for me. It was like to ask me to put it inside of, the mud room or like the enclosed patio on her. And I was like, yeah, like that's totally fine. I don't need your dollar bill, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she thinks you're gonna get like 6 sassafras sodas with that.
Yeah. I mean, $1 is so not any money now. That's
yeah. I used to get you 6 sassafras sodas.
Yeah, my shit ain't doing nothing for $1.
I think I was doing her the favor by taking the $1. It was like she felt like she was doing something nice. I appreciate the sentiment, so I'm not going to complain. But one time during peak season last year, one customer had envelopes that was like, "Delivery drivers, please take one," and it was a $10 coffee gift card.
That's nice.
That's
nice.
Good. But they probably work for the place with the coffee gift card. Just letting you know that they probably got a deal on it. But yeah, I understand. Hey. Well, Alexander, we got to hit our break now. So it's a pleasure to talk to you. And we always love it when you call.
Thanks for listening to me rant about that shit. I want to say Heat O'Brien is fucking insane. Like, listen, the most recent episode of Heat O'Brien, like, almost kill me. The sucking, the year of titty sucking was like insane. Some of the funniest shit I've heard.
It didn't feel like a
in my
long
life.
year.
Oh yeah, it was good. I mean, it's 4 seasons to you. 4 different seasons of titty sucking for you. You enjoyed them all. You enjoyed them all.
I thought I was
every precious day.
I thought I was getting some.
You were.
That's. Thanks for the call, Alexander.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, it's break time, baby. And if you're in the queue, we will get to you when we come back. We've just been fucking around a lot. We've had some buddies call, but we will answer these calls when we get back in here for real. We'll start moving through them.
So this week we have music from Evan Geiger. Evan Geiger wrote and said, "Here's some of my music. Instrumental groovy stuff from Fargo, North Dakota. You can find more of this at evangeiger.bandcamp.com, EEVANGEIGER.bandcamp.com. We are Street Fight, and we'll be back after the break." Hey everybody, welcome back to Street Fight Radio. That was Evan Geiger, Geiger, evangeiger.bandcamp.com if you want to hear more of that. And if you play music or in a band, whatever it is, send us an email, streetfightradio@gmail.com, DM, whatever it is. We'll put you on the show. Riku says we've done this one before. That does seem very likely. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, the good stuff. You got to hear it again. Play it again. You ready to take some calls?
Yeah, let's
I
do
think
it.
this next one, where are we at here? All right. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, it's your friendly neighborhood Dr. Awesome.
What's up, Dr. Awesome? How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm fucking groovy, having family dinner, hanging with friends and pets.
Nice.
How are
okay.
you guys?
We're pretty good. We're having a wild show, but I'm doing okay.
Hell yeah, I thought it was car talk when I first turned it on.
Yeah, well then you missed some other very embarrassing stuff. So I would listen to the podcast.
Hey, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I've got a very important friend here. It's Jill Triplestep, who runs the Period Pantry. It's a local nonprofit out here in Columbus, Ohio, USA.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, Dr.
Yeah.
Awesome is my neighbor, and I was talking to him. He mentioned he mentioned a show coming up with comedy and music and stuff, and I said that we don't like to mix music and comedy really anymore, but we definitely want to spread the word about the project here.
Yeah, so I'm going to let Jill take over.
All right. I will take over. Before I get started, though, I do just want to throw out, like, you don't have to mix music and comedy, but if you're into burlesque, we have that going on, too.
Oh, that's
So
great. That's
if
a
you
good
want to
addition.
expand, you're really welcome to participate in that part of the show.
Nice. Nice.
But, so, yeah, hi. I'm Jill, and I'm not great at talking on the phone or the radio.
You're
but
great.
I run the Period Pantry. We are a nonprofit organization that provides free period products to anybody that needs them in Central Ohio. And I appreciate, so Clint is your neighbor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dr. Awesome is your neighbor. He is one of my best friends. He is my honorary brother, I suppose, but I appreciate the time.
Yeah, so you're doing a
ramble on the show.
You're doing a fundraiser, right? You're doing a show.
Yes, I am.
When is it?
I am. It is Saturday, August 7th at Victories/Classics in the Brewery District. And it's a combination fundraiser for the Period Pantry, but also my birthday is August 10th, and I get pretty extravagant about my birthday generally.
Nice.
So I'm making it both. It's my birthday fundraiser for my nonprofit.
Nice.
It's going to be a great party.
Awesome. I will definitely be there.
You should. So, I mean, I also will have a lot of piñatas because that is also a key thing of my birthday is piñatas. And I think adults don't get to do that enough. So I'm gonna have a bunch of piñatas, but also just fundraising so that people have basic hygiene items, because it's absolutely insane that we live in a world where that's not a given. But that is why I do what I do, because I think it's insane that people...
Like, why aren't menstruation products in every restroom like toilet paper?
Right. Yeah. You don't make kids buy toilet paper to bring to school. So why do people have to buy menstrual products and bring them to school?
totally agree with that. I mean,
Kind of
that's something that was such a blind spot for me for so long. And then my wife just said, she called it something like the woman tax. And I was like, damn, it actually is a woman tax. Never even thought of that because it's just not something that, you know, comes to mind as a dude that is also very self-absorbed. So it is good that there are places to pick up the supplies because you know, that's you're right. They should just be everywhere. You should be able to just you should be able to just go to the store and pick those up for free. I mean, it's not like the store would lose money from it. I mean, I guess the companies that make it would not have money anymore, but fuck it. They can upsell. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they can...
absolutely do.
Loss leader.
Nobody's cash money comes from making tampons or something. That's just a component of it. But like upcharging them is a market in and of itself. But it's literally a basic need it's literally charged as a luxury tax in several states, which is just wild. Like, it's a luxury to not bleed all over the chair at work and get fired. Like, that's just absurd. That's crazy. And
luxury.
But the thing is, too, people don't talk about it at all. People are embarrassed to say that they need it, that they need help with it. So nonprofits and like food pantries and stuff don't carry that stuff. They don't offer it, but people need it a lot. And so that's why I kind of just show up places and say, hi, do you need pads or tampons?
Hey, Jill, when did you start the Period Pantry?
January 2020. It was a really great time to start a new business, let me tell you.
And how much work have you, how many people have you helped over the last year?
So in 2021, we have helped several thousand people, and we have distributed over 100,000 period products in Central Ohio.
Wow.
High five.
And this is so I have a full-time job and a part-time job and a kid, and I'm in school, and I run the Period Pantry.
And you're friends with Dr. Awesome.
All of the hours, I run the Period Pantry in all of the hours that I'm not putting up with Dr. Awesome.
Damn.
But yeah, that's
so you sort of go to like schools and stuff like that and offer to supply them?
Yeah, so I've partnered. So one thing, actually, the first way that we started serving people was because of COVID. We did no contact delivery drop-off because one big barrier to obtaining help in general, like with food pantries and things, is transportation. It's like, oh, could you get to the opposite end of town on Tuesday between 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. and show a birth certificate and your driver's license and all of your kids' Medicaid cards, because we don't believe you're hungry unless you have all of that stuff. And I think that is just bonkers, off the chain, and I hate it. So I wanted to make sure that we exist so that everybody that needs period products in Central Ohio can have them. And yeah, like getting places is a barrier. So we started just serving people directly by dropping stuff off on their porches. But we also now work with a lot of different organizations, domestic violence shelters, youth centers, homeless drop-in centers, New American refugee centers, and a bunch of different places. And we're really always just trying to expand more and more. I think we're at almost, 20 different organizational partners. But we just want to be everywhere. And nobody should have to worry about whether or not they have menstrual products. Like post-COVID, we now know that 3 in 5 people in the last year that have periods couldn't afford period products. And 1 in 4 people missed school or work because they didn't have period products. And that's just here in the U.S.
Fucking shit.
Yeah.
That is really, that is horrible.
Right.
It is unfair.
And people don't...
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
non-binary pals.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I do. That's what I like. I just talk about periods all day long.
Nice.
Well, yeah, and thanks for calling in and letting us know about it. Periodpantryproject.org is the place to go. And when is the fundraiser again? One more time here in Columbus.
Saturday, August 7th at Victory's on South High Street.
543 South High Street.
All right, we'll
Nice.
show up and be there. And thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me talk. Appreciate
Have
it.
a good night. I don't know. Why did I say that like my dad?
Have a good night.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That is not something that I ever thought about until, teenage daughter sort of thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's
Oh.
unacceptable.
I'm a horrible guy.
That is unacceptable.
I am not thoughtful, but I try now.
Okay, you're making up for it. Next call.
Next call.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey there, it's Jeff Wood.
Jeff Wood.
Jeff Wood. Hey, Jeff Wood. How's it going?
Hey, man, I feel bad following up that murderer's row of callers. I just have like a little goofy story about
Let's hear it.
a dare officer what did wrong by hubris.
Oh, please. Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so this was third grade in Springfield, Missouri. It was a gentleman of some gravity and some mustache. He looked like a Chicago cop from like that knife safety video, basically. He I don't know. He led us through dare stuff, whatever. What I remember happening was he disappeared, I don't know, like halfway through the year and got replaced by a different officer. And I found out, so the only way this makes sense, I don't know this for a fact, so let's say allegedly, he was at a party and got fairly drunk and was doing like spinny, like Western guy gun tricks, and he shot himself in the jaw. So he got retired from dare, and if I recall correctly, got retired from the police force because of that.
I mean, listen, spinny Western tricks are fucking really neat. Okay,
Yeah.
If I had a gun, I might want to be one of those trick shooter guys that do the spinning tricks and then like, wing, wing, wing. You know what I mean? That's fun. Hey, I'm all for it. But this guy, first of all, I would think that if you had the safety on, this wouldn't be able to happen, right? Like on your gun,
Right.
If the safety's on, the trigger can't be pulled. But also, like, he's a cop, and like, we know that they're irresponsible with their guns, but we also know that they're like guys that'll put on a show for you to be like, hey, you gotta be responsible if you have a gun. Or somebody can get hurt.
I disagree.
You don't think they say that?
No, I don't think they're trying to put on a show. I think that they're the special kind of person that they believe that they can horse around with it because they take it so seriously.
Okay, I mean, I like that version better than mine, like where it's just like
I know what I'm doing. I'm having fun. Like, I play with guns all fucking day. I'm a cop. I can twirl it around at this wedding. It's fine.
yeah. Oh my god, if it was at a wedding, I mean, he ruined the party, which cops do anyway. But think about the party.
Seeing someone getting shot in the fucking jaw.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
oh, what a bummer.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
It's a party foul.
No, we gotta
I
go to
would
the
say.
hospital.
Yeah, you really did a party foul, sir. We were trying to get together and have a cookout with the friends and family, and now you shot your jaw off doing Western tricks.
No one needed a Wild West sideshow. We didn't call for like Annie Oakley shit around here.
I love that. Dare officers.
Party foul. Like, yeah, I would just kick his ass out, throw him to the curb, like keep it popping.
Yeah,
Like,
just call 911 and like throw him out the front door. Like,
Don't
I can't do
don't let the
anything.
record scratch on that.
Right.
Fuck that guy, man.
What do I know? Surgery or something?
Yeah,
like that?
exactly. I know, reattach a mandible at fucking 2 a.m.
Yeah, what kind of guy do you think I am? I don't know anything. I'll call the ambulance. We'll toss you out on the front porch and boom, you're all fucking set up. Hey, give us a call when you can talk again, is what I would say.
Yeah, call me when you can.
Yeah, call me when you can. Hey, we'll get back together. Just, maybe if I'm throwing a party, I go visit them in the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Or
hey, sorry, I'm the best at parties. I was having too much fun. The atmospheres I create, people just like you take it too far. You just don't have the chill in you, so you shot yourself in the face playing too much.
Also think about this scenario real quick. What if this guy was a +1? So,
oh no,
my dude.
Oh no.
Shows up at a party. Nobody fucking knows him. He's just trying to impress everybody at the party, which, by the way, most normie type people, a cop could just impress him with some cop stories.
Right.
It's like, oh, I did this, I did that. And they're all like, wow, that's very interesting and cool what you did. But he fucking had to go the extra mile and do some fucking tricks and stuff like that. It's just, what a great, great fucking story. I love it.
Yeah.
If he's a +1, oh, I would love to interview him about that. Hey, were you a +1 at this party? Did you ruin somebody's party you didn't even know? Humiliating, sir. That's humiliating.
They probably because they don't even know who he was. They probably just called him What's His Face. They're like, well, remember What's His Face when he blasted it off?
Oh God, yeah. When they talk about it now, hey, we were at a party. I had a party one time, and this fucking my buddy.
I had a wedding, not a party, a wedding.
Yeah, at a wedding, and my buddy brought this guy with him, and he ended up shooting himself in the jaw on accident.
Yep.
What a crazy wedding story. Yeah, you can't, man. He really ruined those people's wedding.
He
what
did.
A great story.
They had to do a do-over. Their 50th will be huge, but I doubt they make it.
I don't know. If me and Katie had a big wedding with a party and a guy accidentally first of all, he's doing gun tricks where you're like, oh, that's tight.
Yeah, that is cool. Tricks. You get known as like the wedding that had gun tricks, though. It's like it kind of is a next level thing.
I know.
It's a good sacrifice. A cop died and you have a cool story, or yeah, that's cool. It was mangled.
Well, he didn't even die.
He was mangled.
Yeah, and you're bummed out. I'm saying you're bummed out that day, right? You're like, yeah.
That seems tragic.
Man, we're not going to be able to do the electric slide.
Yeah.
But he lived.
And you also were at a wedding where someone was playing too much with guns. Yeah. Because a lot of parties don't go that far.
No, I don't. I have only been to maybe 1 or 2 parties where there was a gun. And, that's...
Not playing with them, though. Playing with them I've never seen anybody play with a gun. Only a police officer. I've never seen it. I've been a lot of guns. I've seen a lot of concealed carries. And the right thing to do is to never touch it.
I agree, man. I don't think I've ever seen somebody play with a gun in my life. Like goof off with a gun. And I've hung out with some pretty fucking irresponsible people. And with guns in my life. And I mean...
I guess we're saying specifically why I've seen lots of... people that buy guns, yeah, a lot of them also are too immature to own them. Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of bad stuff with guns.
But they don't goof. They don't...
Twirling it on the fingers.
Yeah.
And also not doing... Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So...
At a party is not acceptable.
Yes. I agree. Don't... Hey... Listeners out there, don't twirl your gun like a Western sideshow at a party, okay? It's not good.
We can agree on that.
I think it's the wrong decision, okay?
Other times, I mean, who knows? Sometimes it's fun to horse around with guns.
Dude, if you're at home, you can horse around with that gun all day and all night. If you're home alone, just whatever, man. You shoot holes in your ceiling, you get up in the ceiling, not over to the side. But yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want when you're at home alone, but don't do it at a party. That is serious party foul shit. Yeah. Jeff Wood, thanks for calling and for everything you do for us. Yeah, have a good night.
Peace.
Hey, you do.
You all right? Yeah, that's very funny. That was the best dare story, maybe one of the best, because most of the best dare stories where the cop gets in trouble, it's for
Yeah.
predators, stuff,
Right.
So, yeah. Let's get another call in.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who we talking to tonight?
Hey, it's Adrian. I'm in Washington.
What's up?
I just wanted, huh?
What's up?
Sup? I just wanted to call in, like, thank you for the last Heat O'Brien episode. That was kind of amazing. It made me kind of feel like a fucking freak, though. Like,
Yeah, that's
one
good.
of those people on the.
That is
Yeah.
the best part of it
Like
is that
those
you do
people-
feel like you're very well accomplished.
Yes, exactly. Like, those people on Real Sex is like, this is just normal shit these people are talking about. Anyway, so I also want to talk about I have a friend who is convinced that I had a part in making my local Walmart up their security because I stole so much shit from there. It was like a few years ago. Yeah. So like a few years ago, like right after my ex left me, we don't have to go into that, but I was just like fucking bored. I had nothing to do. I was unemployed, and there's not a lot of places out here to go to buy shit. And so Walmart was one of the places. I fucking hate that place. I actually service them now in my current job. But I found out one day there was like an item that I could lift part of the box up and like just throw a bunch of makeup into. And then I went into the self-checkout and just scanned it right on through.
Oh.
And
so like an actual, so like a product with a box that had extra room in it, and then you could just drop. What I call this is the Lowe's garbage can trick, right? You go to Lowe's, you get a garbage can, you throw a bunch of shit in it, and then
I think I would say it's a little bit different in that like the garbage can is obvious and they train you to look for that kind of thing. If you did have a product with a loose box top, I could see that being way more advantageous because they're like, it's got tape on it, it's sealed.
Makeup is like one of, I know this like because I worked at Kroger for a period, and the two things that get stolen the most are, in the first one's sad, baby formula, but the second one is makeup.
Yeah.
And and I know at CVS they have a huge problem with makeup getting stolen, and it's like, I guess because it's small and expensive.
And yeah, they're required to have. Most women are required to have it to have any success in this world.
True. It is.
Men expect them to always be wearing it.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I don't want to overstep my bounds here, but I think it's a woman tax on CVS in that like no one's gonna buy this $22 concealer. Like you put it here, and we will pay for like pirate's booty, and we'll pay for bamboo toilet paper, but I'm taking this out with me, and you're not gonna say anything. You're not gonna stop me. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think anybody. I can't imagine ever paying for it.
And that's what they say about Walmart anyway, is that like it's extremely easy to steal from because it's an enormous building with not very many loss prevention people, and most of the employees don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I used to rip off Walmart considerably on all kinds of video games and everything. Like, it would just, we did it as like, it would be funny. We thought it was like a funny joke at how much we could steal, and we would like throw stuff away. It would just
steal it and throw it in the trash.
Yeah, because we could.
Yeah, because it's just a funny gag. I'm just going to steal this.
These stupid asses didn't even realize we stole everything and walked out.
Yeah. So did they add security to the makeup aisle?
Yeah, so shortly after I had run through there for a few weeks, once in a while, just like picking up this particular item that actually was on clearance. So it was only like $5, and I put like $50 worth of makeup in there. Like, I don't know what, a month later, I go in there and they've got the whole makeup area kind of enclosed so that there's only one entrance and one exit to the place. And they have an employee, at least one employee there at all times with a register. And they force you to either put it in a security box or pay for it before you leave.
Wow.
They do that at Target too.
So,
now.
yeah. So like, I went home one day and I kind of counted up all the shit I had stolen, and it was about $1,000 worth of makeup that I had taken out of there. I assume that's probably a loss that they would have noticed. So they also added a bunch of security cameras with like the fucking screens that show you that, oh, we're watching you, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, those are bullshit though, I believe.
And so I ended up keeping some of it. I sent some of it to some of my friends, and then sent some of it to, I can't remember exactly which one, but it was an LGBTQ charity where they'll take your, unused makeup and, especially for trans femme,
How fucking
and
how
give it out.
fucking
So,
how good did you feel after you, like, that feeling of like, oh my God, I just discovered a new way to steal, and then you're just like, I'm gonna do this all the fucking time. What made you quit? Was it just like the new security, or did you just want to be like, I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead here?
The item that they had sold that was extremely easy to steal stuff with, they kind of ran out of, and it was not a recurring item. It was kind of like a seasonal thing. So I kind of had quit then, and then shortly thereafter, they had upped their security, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. I've already gotten more shit than I could ever use. So, I'm going to distribute it at least.
Yeah,
I have to say, I've been to flea markets in Columbus, Dallas, and DC, and every single one I've been to, there's always a table of makeup, and it's just like 50% off whatever the price tag is. Like, it's just all boosted, and it's half price. It's a good deal. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, half that shit is probably stolen, and the other half is probably just like surplus.
I think it's all stolen.
But yes.
I to me it seemed all stolen because it's just an easy way to make money.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The cops say that too. Like
a $20 tube of paste. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in college, I did a sociology of deviance class as part. Well, I did a bunch of them, but in that class, they talked about like that's what happens when people steal a ton of shit. They take it to the flea market and just sell it. I mean, that's what we were saying with the laundry detergent that people were boosting, which is very cool.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is cool. I'm glad you didn't end up getting busted. That is the happy ending.
Yeah.
There.
This is going to sound really shitty, but I had a plan for like if they did like kind of try and bust me. I was gonna try and pull the whole like, oh man, I forgot that I had just kind of thrown that shit in the cart, and I had a whole plan for that, which is fucking shitty because it's kind of a white woman thing. But I did have a plan. But no, I never got busted.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah, all you have to do, I think that more than anything is, you have to be ready to do a performance. Like, you're going to risk it, and then the only parachute you have is how much of a performance you can do to convince them to let you go.
Yeah, to not get the cops involved so that you can, like, sometimes they'll just be like, leave and don't come back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, that's a good deal.
It's a big win.
Yeah,
I'll go work the west side of town now.
Yeah, there's other Walmart I can go to. It's fine.
Yeah. And now I work a job where I actually have to service that store, so it's kind of fun.
That's
How
Anyway,
much does
but
how
yeah.
how tempted do you get? Like, man, I could steal some makeup right now.
Once in a while, okay, once in a while I do get that idea, but they are pretty like anal about that particular section now. Which is funny to me because it's been a couple years since I've been through there. But usually I'm kind of busy with work trying to deal with their bullshit. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, appreciate it.
well, thank you guys.
Yeah. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Peace.
That's a really good story because it shows somebody making the right decision to get out
Yeah.
before they
Or
get
just
caught.
or it's like there's this item, and if I go to the Walmart, I can stuff makeup into this item, and then when that item disappears, you're just like, it's over. You don't like try to force it into something else. You just run with like the opportunity as you got it.
Yeah. You should always do that. Quit while you're ahead.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, what's up? It's Rubber Fingers.
What's up, Rubber Fingers? How's it going?
It's going great, thanks. Loving the show. I called maybe like a month ago and I talked about the YouTubers Union FairTube.
Oh, yeah,
But,
how's that going?
Yeah. I don't know. I just, I still think about it, but no, I was thinking about talking about something else tonight.
Go for it.
And the caller a while ago who mentioned the cop that shot himself in the face, I thought that was hilarious, and it kind of is related to the thing.
Pretty funny.
Or I have another topic about cops that is related to the thing I planned on talking about.
Cool.
You guys know the thin blue line flags, right? The stick cop supporting flags. They're like black and white with one blue line, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. When I was in school and stuff and they were teaching us about the flag, I remember hearing that the color red on the flag represents like fallen soldiers from either the Revolutionary War and I guess by continuation all fallen U.S. soldiers, right?
Yeah, I don't actually remember what the colors on the flag symbolize, but I'm gonna look that up.
That sounds like evangelical as hell. It sounds like the red represented his blood type shit. I thought it was like 13 colonies.
No, that's the stars. Oh, you're right. No, it is. The red and white are 13 for 13 colonies, I believe. But I'm looking. Right. I will know in a minute.
Wait, no, yeah.
So I just think it's hilarious that these people who are so, quote unquote patriotic are really disrespecting the flag and the troops by taking the sacred color red off of our flag.
Red stands for hardness and valor.
Hardness.
Hardness. You know what color a dog's penis is when it?
Oh fuck! Oh, yeah.
That's where they got it.
Hard.
Yeah. Hardness.
Red rocket dick. Dog dick hard.
This fucking flag is. We got red on here for my hardness. I saw a hard thing, and then valor. Which I like to see.
Our fortitude. Okay, well, maybe not the blood of fallen soldiers. Maybe that was just my deranged elementary school teacher.
No, I believe it. I mean, that sounds perfectly acceptable in something like any American school system would indoctrinate you with. Like, don't say it too loud because they're going to run with that in Florida.
Right. Well, now this next thing I did look up. Do you know why cops wear the color blue?
I don't know.
Because it's a boy color?
I did double check this. They wear blue because after the Civil War, the Union uniforms became the first police uniforms. So that police blue is Union blue.
Oh.
So I find it hilarious that all these big ugly pickup trucks that have a thin blue line sticker right next to a Trump sticker or a Confederate flag sticker don't realize they're repping Union Blue.
Oh, they're
But
just
that's not
trying
exact.
to.
That wasn't.
They're just trying to have something racist on their car. They. I don't even know if they care as much about the American flag as they do about just getting something racist on their car.
Yeah.
As fast as possible.
Right. And I think it's also just a signal to say, hey, cops, don't pull me over. You know, let me speed and let me do stupid shit and don't pull me over because I'm willing to genuflect to your power.
Yeah, I know it stinks because it's back in the day, you know, people used to say you get a Fraternal Order of Police sticker and put it on your car, and then the cops won't pull you over. But then you got a Fraternal Order of the Police sticker on your car or the thin blue line flag on your car. You know, that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Thin
anyways.
Blue Line was a fucking documentary about corrupt cops, too. So, that's a little thing, too.
Yeah, they don't care. They get away with what they want. You can't beat them in any sort of logical fallacies or hypocrisy.
True, very
You
true.
just have to beat them over the head with a pipe.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the real reason I was calling is, and I hope you guys don't mind if I do a little self-promotion.
Not at all.
I do a podcast.
Do?
I do. It's called User's Guide to Article 5, and we talk about amendments, and it's all about things that need to change in the Constitution, basically. And today we did an episode, and we kind of outlined 5 things that are sort of our hobby horses that we always come back to.
Okay.
And one of them, the big one for me, is amending the 13th Amendment because it has that section that makes it okay to have slavery in the United States as long as it's a punishment for a crime that's convicted in court.
Yeah. I mean, that is one of the bad ones.
Right.
For sure. I don't know all the amendments. And every time I've ever thought about like what I would put in the Constitution, I just am like, I don't know, like, no racism. Like, can we get a no racism amendment or like a no?
Well, see, that would contradict freedom of speech. So you might have problems there. I mean,
I'm against
That's
freedom.
what-
mine
yeah,
would
no-
be
No Constitution.
Yeah.
right.
I was actually
Well,
talking to
that
Brian
sounds-
about this
that-
earlier. I was on Instagram and I wanted to make a joke video and I looked for filters and I typed in MAGA and there were 0 MAGA filters. And I was trying to figure out how I felt about that because I wanted to do a funny video. But then I was like, do I want them to be silenced? And ultimately I do. Like, I feel like they're gross, disgusting people and I don't think everyone deserves to have freedom of speech, and I think a lot of people should be squashed out in a way.
Well, but that's a private company, so that's totally different. Like Instagram should definitely take ability to use that.
Government could do some work too. Government could throw people in camps and shit.
Good point. Good point, Brett. I think we're losing you, buddy.
Yeah. Hello?
We can't hear you.
Sorry, I lost you for a second. Say that again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we hear you now. We weren't hearing you well, so.
Yeah, sorry, I did something there. What would you say?
Nothing.
Just nothing really.
Okay. Well, here would be my amendment. Well, one would definitely be amend the 13th Amendment to hashtag strike between the commas, which would just eliminate that part about the exemption for prisoners. But I think you could easily do an amendment to
Legalize drugs.
basically to abolish the prohibition on cannabis. I think that's a cut and dry amendment. There shall be no prohibition on cannabis. And I think you could get enough states to ratify that. Also prostitution, I think that's one that makes sense. It'd be tougher to sell, to get it actually proposed and ratified, but legalized prostitution. Or really it'd be, there shall be no prohibition on prostitution, because I think it's always easier to sell these things if it's like a negative. That's what the right wing always does. They're always saying no this or no that, no abortion, no gay marriage, what have you. And if you phrase it in the sense of like no prohibition on cannabis, it just makes the default that cannabis is legal.
Yeah,
So anyways,
the law
Here's
sucks.
where it makes
No
me
one cares.
nervous. Here's where it makes me nervous is the right always wins these things. So what we would end up with is flag burning amendments and shit like that, where it's like, God dang it. Ah, dang it. We thought we were going to fix it, but we can't. We can't.
well, the beautiful thing about Article 5, and that's really the point of our podcast, is that 13 states can block any amendment. So if there's something that's not universally popular, it only takes one chamber in the legislature of 13 states to block any amendment. So again, there's, back to my list of 5 things, of like action items that we're trying to push on the show. There's this thing called the Corwin Amendment that was proposed before the Civil War that was actually trying to preemptively block abolition. They were trying to make it so no one could pass an abolition amendment because they were trying to stop a civil war from happening. And that Corwin Amendment is still on the books. That could actually still be ratified if enough states passed ratification. And currently there's 3 that have ratified it. Ohio actually ratified it, but then repealed their ratification of it. So you guys are good.
I was going to say,
What about
right,
Illinois, Rhode Island?
How about you ratify
And
this
Kentucky
quarter pipe? Do some rad shit in like a quarter pipe instead.
It's ratify. Brett. You smart aleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, there's actually white supremacists online who are trying to get that one to get passed. And then the other amendment is that I'll finish my plug for this User's Guide to Article 5, but there's another amendment called the Congressional Apportionment Amendment that is still on the books waiting for states to ratify it. It actually was one of the original 12 amendments that were the Bill of Rights that they only ratified 10 to make the Bill of Rights. The other one became the 27th Amendment, which is the one where Congress can't vote to give themselves pay raises. And that one took 203 years to ratify. It happened in 1992. And then the other one that's still on the books waiting for ratification is the Congressional Apportionment Amendment that would make it so every district for House of Representatives would be no more than 50,000 people. And so that would, radically change the country. It would make it so there would, it'd be kind of crazy because there would be like 6,000 and change representatives instead of 430.
Yeah. See, what I've been thinking is like everybody is a senator, and everybody is in the House of Representatives. We just fucking fight it out. You know what I mean? We have just conversations about fixing stuff, but also, we could ratify some amendments too. I'd be, ambivalent about it. But if they were good, I'd be like, when they got passed, like, oh my, well, a good thing happened.
No, you wouldn't ever.
I know.
Nothing the United States Constitution could accomplish would be good.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. I think it would just be.
Well, you sound like the person I do the show with, Pagan Communist. She is very not anti-constitution. Well, yeah, no, she's anti-constitution.
Me
she
too.
She shits on the Constitution all the time.
Me too, bro.
Yeah, we hate it.
I'm a little more. I actually think it's still savable. It is. It's pretty bad, but it is still the cutting edge of what can be done for a
tri-corner
society.
Shit.
We could do something all different.
Playing a fight. Wearing pantaloons. That's outdated as fuck, man.
Right. Well, and it's called A User's Guide to Article 5.
that's the show.
All right.
And you're the first one to get it through, but anybody else that's going to do like a pitch for their show, you got to send us like $150.
Thank you.
To do an advertisement on the show. You got to like pay for that. Like
personally send me.
Yeah.
That.
You got to Venmo the
it's
money.
okay, buddy. It's okay. Brett's just being a ball buster. But have a good night.
Well,
it was
shit,
good
man.
to
I've
hear
been
from you.
Too much. You talk too much. All right. Thanks for calling. Yeah, I mean, we hate the Constitution, and no one gives a fuck about changing this. Like,
I agree.
It's not going to happen.
I'm just trying to be nice.
Sounds interesting, but too long-winded. And once again, seriously, if you call in to talk about your podcast, $200 is enough.
And then I get 100 on
100 piece. 100 me, 100 to you.
We get it. We're not going to throw it back in the
And
business.
you can talk about your podcast for 5 minutes.
6 minutes, I'll say.
Okay.
Just because I'm a nice one.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who we talking to tonight?
Hey, what's up, guys? I didn't think I would get on.
You're on. You are on.
All right.
Oh, there's one more.
Awesome.
No,
well,
last call.
I just started listening to your guys' podcast this past week, and I love what I'm hearing and going back through old episodes. So, yeah, that's why I'm surprised that I got on my first call in.
Nice.
But, yeah. So
Thanks for being here.
Back to that last caller in the beginning talking about, thin blue line decals and everything like that. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, they don't care about any logical fallacy. Like, 3% decals are just, like, the first time I saw one, like 3 or 4 years ago, it was one of those, little, like, 2-3 inch decals stuck in, like, the corner of the window so that, maybe trying to hide it, who knows, but once, the person who agrees with them to give them a little head nod type of thing when they're driving by, like, yeah, I'm a racist too,
Yep.
But now, like, they are not hiding it anymore. Like, just this summer alone, I've seen 2 of those 3%er decals, and they are full back window of pickup trucks. It is not hidden one bit.
Yeah, for sure. It is just all of those sorts of things are just like, I'm just trying to show that I don't like. I mean, I'll be charitable this time. Instead of saying racist, that I hate liberals and leftists is really probably in their mind what they actually think they're saying, but they're probably also no, they don't. They know that, like, they know they disagree with every single sentiment in Black Lives Matter, right? But they don't think that reflects on them being racist. They don't even draw the line to the two things. They just think they're being pro-cop. Well, and that's what it is.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I talked about this a little bit on a Radio Free Tote Bag with, like, how I raised my kid, in that, like, I'm not shielding her from, like, ugly ideas. I'm not shielding her from, like, MAGA or racism and any of that, the all lives matter, any of that shit. Like, I don't mind if she hears that ugly kind of stuff, because I'm teaching her how to think for herself and how to find a way in the world. And I know that, like, under harsh scrutiny, none of that stuff works unless you're, like, intentionally ignorant and a belligerent person. Unless you deny unless you deny the viewpoints of other people, unless you just are going to be a big fat baby that screams and yells and doesn't accept any new information, like, you would never believe any of that Blue Lives Matter shit.
Yes, absolutely.
And the rest of it.
I mean, and that's how it worked with my kid, was just like, she comes home from school and she says, this is what we learned. And then I say, okay, that's, like, not the only way to think about it. There are other ways to think about it. That's how I framed my propaganda. I'm her dad. I'm allowed to feed her propaganda. That's another thing people don't think about. You're allowed to do that. Hey, parents are allowed to be like, oh, you believe in Jesus to their kid, and then their kid just has to believe in Jesus. Same fucking thing. I think, like, for me, it's very much you say, this is the other way to look at this thing, and they will then come to the right conclusions about other things later. And that, to me, that's been the most rewarding thing to me. I mean, I never told my daughter, like, you're not allowed to be racist.
Right.
I never.
It's just obvious.
Yeah. And now she's like 100%. She's in the anti-racist group at school, right? She's telling me this on the way home. She's like, yeah, I'm in the. When I joined the anti-racist group at school, I thought maybe we would be going by the boys' house in school that used the N-word and just doing crime to it.
Throttling him.
You can't do that.
Yeah, that's an underground gang.
Yeah, you need to start a crew if you want to do that. But hey, you know, I'm into it.
Headbashers gang.
But yeah, I just don't. I am not the type of dude that like is trying to tell anybody how to think. But I am trying to like have a dialogue with people so that they understand how I think, and I can understand how they think, and then hopefully like the smart people are gonna come over here. Okay, those other people,
we slaughter them.
Exactly. Thank you for saying it. I didn't want to have to say it out loud.
I'm going hardcore this time around on this call-in.
Well, I mean, and it's so hard too, because like, I'm sure you've thought of the hypothetical of like, what if my daughter does turn into a racist or whatever? Like, how do I handle that? How do I handle my kid going down that path? Because I don't exactly want to be jovial about it.
No. Not a possibility. No one would ever get that way unless they were trained to be it, unless they were taught that way. I don't think that she would come into it as like a fad or anything. I don't even consider it.
Yeah. It's not gonna happen. It's one.
Maybe Republican because she wants to be bougie, but I doubt that even.
If it was Republican, it would
I guess that is
just
racist.
be. If it was Republican, it would just be sort of rebellious to you and her mom. That's all it would be. I mean, for me, I had worried about that, but I just don't think it doesn't worry me. None of that stuff worries me. If she becomes Republican once she's out of my purview, the fuck you want me to do about it? I can't do it.
If she strikes it rich and things are easy and capitalism works for her, I'm probably not going to convince her not to be a Republican. Yeah. I mean, I went through hell and I did that so that she doesn't have to go through hell, and that might backfire, to be honest. She might just I might hand her off into an easy position of streamer, and then she does it and it happens, and then she thinks anyone can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be my nightmare.
Hello?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I probably only think of it, like, the other way around, where, like, it's a real thing that, you know, trans kids, like, get kicked out of their home for being trans, and, like, so, I don't know, that's just the way that my mind works sometimes, and I don't have kids yet, so that'll be a thing to keep thinking about, but...
Don't even think it.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess, like, one thing that I was kind of on my mind, like I mentioned, you know, going back through old episodes, is that, you know, I hear Brian bring up occasionally, like, you know, workers at Target, and just so happens that I work at Target myself. And I don't know if you guys have ever had anybody on before that has worked there.
Yeah, we have lots of Target people call in.
One
Okay,
guy
we're
called
real
in.
deal Holyfield over here.
One time a guy called in
better
and
than
talked
Walmart.
about shitting all over Target. And remember that guy? He just shit all over the place. A customer shit, and they said to him to clean it up, and he said no, and then just walked out. Was like, I don't make enough money to clean up shit. Or there was something like that. Great story that I don't remember as well. But But yeah, I'll ask this. How many hours a week are you working now?
So I should clarify, I do not work in the stores. I work from home, and I just work from home. I'll just say that, just to not give too much information away. But I work a full-time 40 hours from home because it's much easier to do that than doing it in store.
Yeah, I would think so. I would certainly think so. Well, at least how often do you got to go to the stores?
I mean, I never have to go for like work purposes. I just happen to go. Obviously, I got an employee discount and everything, so I'm there often. And then I actually also do. I am like a gig worker as well too, and I do Shipt, which is through Target and other retailers. So I'm there pretty often for gig work purposes as well when I'm not
I have
working
read.
with Target from
I've. I don't think I've ever been able to bring it to the show, but man, have I read some stuff about Shipt. Like, that is a bad one. That is. I mean, is that your experience doing it? Because I guess I'm telling somebody that's doing it, it's a bad one, which is not really the way you do that.
Like you're right, no doubt, because I think the issue is it doesn't get enough flack out there because the other people who I notice, and like I don't talk to too many people while doing it. That's the issue, is like there's a lot of issues with gig work. It's so tough to like unionize because you're like out on an island, and like yeah, you do see other shoppers in the store, but like a lot of them are going so quick and so fast, and it's just like I don't want to interrupt them, and like I wouldn't want them to interrupt me either. Trying to just like get out and not make it too long of an experience. But like I'll say this, it's better than Instacart, but not by much.
Okay.
So I think you're right on that.
Low bar. I think there's other. You know what? I'll have to find that story because I think our listeners would even be interested in it. I'm gonna go back through and look for that for Wednesday, because there was a long piece in some site that I visit about Shipt, and there were just issues with like the way the apps run, with like timing stuff. There was like a lot of stuff about that where it was like, yeah, the money sucks, but also don't forget about all this stuff too. Yeah. That's really bad. So yeah.
And
I mean, how many people are?
It also depends.
Are you? Let me ask you this.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me ask you this. I drove for Lyft years ago. For some reason, I didn't want to drive for Uber because I'd heard it was bad. So I picked Lyft, and less people in Columbus used Lyft than Uber. So I didn't make as much money as I probably could.
Lyft was for people that cared back in your day.
That's true. That was what it was supposed to be. And I mean, do you think that like Shipt is it like a popular app, or like a lot of people using it? Because you don't ever hear somebody talking about a Shipt order that they had.
Yeah, I think it's popular because Target is the main retailer that uses it. Like we have other ones like Hy-Vee, and then there's like some other local ones as well too that get involved with it. But it started out with Target, so I think they're very much synonymous, and I'm pretty sure Target owns Shipt as well too, even though they work with other retailers as well. It's kind of weird that way, but yeah, I mean, I'll say this, like doing it part-time is fine. It's not a big deal. I make decent money doing it. But if you're doing it full time, like, and you run into issues, it can just cause like a ton of problems. And I think it really, like any other type of gig work, it got really exacerbated last year. And I do remember seeing an article talking about like different locales. Like I think it was like Grand Rapids, Michigan, which, not too far from Columbus, or at least a little bit closer to there. Like they were interviewing people and they were just getting like, you know, $6-7 per trip for these 50-60 item orders, and it was just awful. And it just changed like all of a sudden, and it's like there's not less demand, and it's there's no like it. They had to hire on so many more people last year that now it's like it's almost kind of like Amazon drivers a couple years ago, where it's like you'd have to wake up at like 5-6 a.m. to be claiming orders, and you're just like glued to your phone trying to get work.
Yeah.
If you're doing it full time.
That's what I hated about doing Lyft full time, really, was that like you're glued to your phone. You sit down for dinner, you gotta go. If you don't turn it off. And then sometimes, you know, I'd be out for an hour without a job and I'd be like, well, fuck it, must be slow. I'll just go home and eat. And then the second I sat down, it was like bloop, and it was like, oh, great. But hey, it's that welcome to the street fight. We call it a family around here. We always have called it a family. This place is more like a family than a podcast.
Yeah.
So welcome to the family. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate being a part of the family now. You guys take care.
Have a good night.
Dog, seriously, since you just said it, these Fast and the Furious memes are so frustrating to me. Absolutely infuriating to see like blue check New York City motherfuckers sharing a jovial Vin Diesel meme. Because ever since Fast 5, we've been talking about them and we've been proselytizing for them. We've been telling everybody it's like the multicultural experience that you want from big movies.
Yeah.
And it's 9, and now finally big culture, mainstream culture. Now it's finally okay with Fast 9 to say these are fun and I like these.
Yeah.
Because 1 through 8, NPR people, New York Times people, they looked down their motherfucking reading glasses at us.
Yeah. 5 is the best one. I mean, 5 is just good shit. So, and
it was a great reboot.
Yeah, it's the best. But that is.
But here's what I'm gonna say. In this week, also, I also saw somebody saying like, so now that people are reinterpreting new metal, are we going to consider Limp Bizkit in a new light?
Yep.
I also saw someone say something about giant tree theory, where like the mountains of Earth, the giant mountains of Earth, were huge trees.
Yeah.
We talked about that like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yep.
Everything that we do, we're just too early on it.
I know.
Like no one wants. People think we're crazy. People think that like it's just too new, and I've never been late to the party, and that's where all the money's at.
Yeah.
Everybody that's late to the party is doing the best.
We need to be late.
Everybody shows up in the 7th inning rally. They are making 6 figures a year.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens, man. That's the world we live in. Talk to the Velvet Underground about it.
And also, just something else to say. I didn't want to attack the constitutional podcaster too much, because I feel like we brought that upon ourselves because we celebrated the 4th of July when we should have done the show instead. And now we have this liberal ass constitutional American shit comes in. But I want you to know, and I want to reinvigorate our anti-American attitude and say that we will never be interested in reforming the Constitution or changing things through government, because we've too far beyond that, and that's not what we're here for. We're for the next level shit. Not the going to school to take it down from the inside. That's been a failure for 30 years now, and we've heard it. So we're ready for the next level, step it up shit, not like Instagram it shit. So
don't fix it.
Don't fix it. Fuck it. We are Street Fight Radio. We'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.